Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny from Relentless and Unstoppable, and today we have David Carfora with us. Hey man, how you doing?
Good, thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Lovely to have you. So where are you at the moment?
Right now, I am in Melbourne, Australia. Um, Currently at my parents' house because my house is actually having some renos done. And yeah, the sun's come out. Melbourne, 4 seasons, one day, but we've got lovely weather today, so that's a plus.
Great to hear. It's near dark where I'm at. Yeah. So what do you do for a living?
Well, I'm an actor, but I also take care of my mother. She's not well. So when I have time, I go to auditions. I basically pull out a chunk of time to go film stuff, whether it's TV or film or theater. And yeah, when I'm not doing that, I take care of her.
All right. Sorry to hear about your mother. How's she doing?
She has her good days, bad days. We have some similar ailments, but she's got it more severe. So, good days, bad days.
Okay. So what was your upbringing like, and where are you originally from?
Yeah, that's interesting. So my background is my grandparents are from Italy. My dad is from Italy as well. I grew up and was born here in Melbourne, Australia. It was very, very family orientated, very like my grandparents was always over, my mum's brothers were always over, and her sister, my dad's family was always over. So we're uh, very family orientated, like a little community. I have two other brothers, one older, one younger. I guess you can imagine having an older and a younger brother, how that must go. A lot of fights, a lot of arguments, a lot of me following my older brother doing silly stuff. Um, Me getting in trouble for the things my older brother did.
It's like
Um,
Prince of Egypt almost with Ramesses and Moses.
yeah, and there's been a few instances where my older brother, has almost killed me a few times. Um,
Hmm.
we look back at it now and just laugh. Um, he ran me over with a bike a few times from head to toe and almost crushed me. He almost burnt me alive, which at the time was painful, but now we kind of giggle at. Um, all accidents, but what can you do when you're 4 and 8? But if things are gonna go wrong, but yeah,
Okay.
and yeah.
What were you going to say?
Um, well, I was going to say that after that, it was pretty much semi strict. Not too strict. Like it's not that we weren't allowed out of the house or anything in that regard. We were just very like, if we went outside, have someone with you. My parents were very self-conscious of us knowing our environment and our surroundings and always having someone around just in case if there was like a bad scenario or a stranger's trying to talk to you, or have someone with you, have one of your brothers to be like, no, stay away. um so we were kept in this like nice communal type family.
Ah, okay. I see what you mean. So,
Yeah.
what made you get into acting?
Oh, uh that's a so I was originally a graphic designer because I'd always loved like other worlds. I'd loved movies, I'd loved drawings. I love cartoons, animes, everything under the sun. So I originally was doing graphic design, and then I'd completed my schooling for that. I got my degree, and I was running my own little business. And after about a year, the work just stopped. And I was sitting around just, thinking, how am I going to pay bills and everything? And I was just like, I didn't know what to do. I was getting stressed. I was getting depressed. And I remember this specifically. And so by this stage, I was about 21, 22. And I was watching the original Highlander movie with Sean Connery. And I was thinking, and there's a specific line in it where they say there can only be one. And I started thinking to myself, well, why can't I do this? I've always loved movies. Why can't I pursue this? Because when you grow up in a middle class family and you grow up in the suburbs, especially with a Italian background, being an actor isn't the most, like, it's a dream. It's like going to the moon. Like, it's unrealistic. But I just thought to myself, you know what, just see what you can do. So that night I started looking up acting schools, and I applied the next day and started my acting training. And I've been doing acting since then. I'm 31. I'll be 31 in 2 weeks. So 31, almost 12 years, I think. 10, 12 years, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool that you're involved in that and that you're shooting for the stars. That's great. Makes you relentless and unstoppable for sure.
Yeah, especially because, like, being the middle child, I'm different from my brothers. Like, my older brother, he's a concreter. My younger brother, he's a lawyer. And even at school, I was always just like, I didn't know where I fitted in. And then for some ironic reason, as soon as I started acting, I just, like, when I'm in front of that camera and I do my thing, I'm like, this is it. Like, this is where I'm meant to be, that type of thing. And I was just like, yeah, can't stop now.
Good to hear. Have you worked on independent films yet?
Yes, I have. I've done student films. I've done a few independents. Um, they were incredible to work on. It is a different scale going from, like, student films, independents, and then features and even TV shows. Um, Especially because when you first get on set, you're always going to have nerves because, it's a new crew. You don't want to screw up. You don't want to let anyone down. You want to be a professional. And going from schooling to auditioning to then being on a set is completely different feelings, because, like, even schooling and auditioning can be similar, where you're in a little room, everyone's eyes are on you, and you're performing. And at the back of your mind, you're like, this is uncomfortable. Uh, I'm not going to be able to do it 100% because I've only had a day's notice to learn 5, 6 pages of dialogue, and you just go for it. Whereas on a set, whether it's student, independent, film, TV, you have a little bit more leeway. And it is different because if you're in an audition and they're like, okay, so the criminal's coming out of this corner, you need to pretend to be shooting at him while saying your lines. You've got to let your imagination do a lot of it. Whereas when you're on an actual set, you see the other actor playing the criminal. You've got a pretend gun in your hand, so it makes it more realistic. It's a night shoot, so you see there are cars around. You've got other options to go for when you're playing. You can make different choices, so it makes it more realistic, and you rely on your imagination a little bit less. But yeah, it really is a scale of 1 to 10 of the difference between each individual, like student film, feature, independence, and TV.